And we're live. Looks like the connection's not too good. Hold on. Let me pause. Hold on. Hold on. All right, let's try that. Adjust some settings. How's everybody doing? Welcome to another Sunday spiritual session with me, Michael. How's everybody doing? Hope y'all doing good. We're gonna pull some cards today. We're gonna see what the messages from Spirit actually are today. It's gonna be a card full day, and we'll see what's going on, where we're at, and where we're going. Essentially, what I want to talk about today, obviously, is that love is all you need. I think I'm always trying to say be nice on the show, and I think it's really important that we remember this. Because through all the questions and all the findings and all the research, it's up to you. It is up to you. So getting involved in this or that too far one way, too far the other way, it just gets confusing, like I always say. So we're going to see what we got to talk about today. But one thing that keeps coming to mind for me is the concept of, let's say, the snake in the Garden of Eden, right? And they say, oh well, everything is the devil and Satan and all of this types of people, and everybody keeps blaming. What happens when you do that is it's a cop out, and you're not taking responsibility for what's actually, for what you're doing. It wasn't the devil who ate the apple. It was the human person who ate the apple. Why did they eat the apple? Well, because they were told by the devil to eat the apple. It's like, well, you still chose to eat the apple, so it's up to you. And there's, and it's great. Like I say, so nice that everybody's starting to get into spiritual stuff and aspects. But a lot of it, it's not what it's cracked out to be. And that's what I always like to talk about on the show. Doesn't mean that it's not real. Doesn't mean the energies aren't real. It's very important to notice what energies you're messing with. Okay. Love is all you need. That's the only energy you ever need to mess with, right? Because if you mess with anything else, it's probably not going to turn out as good. So all situations just need love. That's it, 100%. And you can't force people to do anything. Can't force people to learn stuff. Can't do this, can't do that. But what you can do is you can make it fun and entertaining and laugh and bring some love into the situation, right? But like I said, what keeps coming in is, the concept that, I've talked about this before, Adam, Eve, whatever. Eve wasn't the first woman, right? She was made from the rib of Adam, and Lilith was the first woman. And they say, oh, she rebelled. Well, no kidding. When, at what point she gets no respect. I get no respect, right? That Rodney Dangerfield going on right here, right? Lilith is so bad, right? And what that makes me think of also is, you all know the story of the Monkey King, or maybe you don't, right? But we've all heard of the Monkey King and the golden staff and all that stuff, right? Maybe to some degree, less or more. But essentially, he was supposed to guard the peach orchard, whatever. So I don't know if it's 500 years, right? There's the 500-year meditation. That's what I'm thinking, 500. But every 500 years, when the ancient Taoist immortals would come out of their meditation into the physical, and then to celebrate, they would have the peach festival, whatever it's called. And so everybody would feast on these magical, super delicious, nutritious peaches. And the Monkey King was supposed to guard the peaches, and he didn't. Well, he basically ate them all because it took so long. He was guarding for so long, and eventually he just went off and ate all the peaches. So it's the exact same story. And if you look at the history on the Monkey King story, how far back that goes, everything's just a rinse and repeat. It's all just rinsing and repeating and going, on the same story and this and this and this. Everybody's, still arguing, still this, still that. The other things coming in is, was Jesus, real? Did he really live? Did he not really live? And it's like, did you get the message, right? So, it's a great thing to see all this coming out, but we really got to narrow this down. We're all trying to figure it out. We're all trying to put the stories together, and there's a lot of like copping out. Oh, or people say the devil made me do it, or this and that. And it's like, yes, you have a light side and you have a dark side. It resides within you. You're the one, right? It's not anybody else. It's not about somebody else coming, to save you and to do this and to do that. Like I was talking on the last show, your DNA, your history, your ancestors, all this and all that, right? We're here to correct that, and what I like to joke about with that is how silly it is, because, the concept that we needed to come here for our ancestors when our ancestors are already gone. So why are we coming here for our ancestors who aren't here anymore? Right? Like it really, we got, but that doesn't mean you're not connected to that DNA line, that there isn't something to do. Right. And so this is where the physicality, the science meets the spiritual, right? Where everything science is trying to figure out is the meaning and the workings of life. Everything spirit is, religions, whatever, is trying to figure out is the meaning of life and what to do. And instead of all of us getting constantly caught up with what we think is important based on our relative understanding or how it's relative in our lives or this and that, the knowing that this has been going on since the beginning of time. So we don't need a new religion. We don't need a new thing to follow. We don't need a new, all of this stuff. As I said in the last video, you're already an ascended being. We all are, right? And we came here to fix things, to reset the whole system, right? So it's the concept of like, that we came here to help. We came here to change, the frequency and the vibration. It's not about, the future. I mean, it's not about the past. I mean, it is, it's all connected, right? But it's the now. It's the now moment. And every time you spend time in your now moment, wherever that now is, you're fixing things all the time, just with your thoughts, with your vibration, with how you feel, et cetera, et cetera. And this is the whole point. So it's it's a lot more simple, simple, not easy, right? To break all this down, to understand it all, and really just, we're here to keep moving forward. We're here to help each other to figure it out, which is nothing, that there's nothing to figure out. There's nothing to figure out, right? Because we're taught in this world that if we figure it out and then we just do it like that, in a row, A, B, C, D, then it's all just going to work out. But what if you already have figured it out? What if all you need to do to figure it out or to fix things is to be love, have love, and take care of yourself and take care of those around you, right? Living a life of love and joy and happiness and truth is just doing exactly that. There's nothing to figure out. There's no complicated, math problem equation, does the universe equal math or does math equal the universe? It's everyone, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter unless you're love, right? But then again, it goes into all things. And that's why I like, talking all over the place on this stuff, because it's a lot of fun. It really is, and it's hilarious. I wanted to title this the hilarity, the hilarity of the story that we're all living and that we're all, because if you look at it, how long it's all been going on, and look where we're at, right? So what do we need? Another religion? No, we don't need a, hey, B-Ray, what's happening, bro? Yeah, man. Yo, yeah, I'm getting back in the groove here. A lot of things changing, doing things, wanting to bring some comedy into this. But I don't like writing things down and following a schedule. So Spontaneousness is the way it's supposed to be, like we say, if we lived in a world where we didn't have, or like I say, when we lived in a world where people weren't, struggling or whatever, what's the saying? People who, don't have much are the first ones to find God, because we're looking for help, help us. We don't, right? But the reality, that's again a sort of a cop out, because the reality is real. Like there's real people, rulers, elites that are trying to control all of this stuff, right? So you don't need God, you don't need this, you don't need that. Everybody says we got away from God. Honestly, I think a lot of people are not that far away from God as we think. Most of all of us are not that far away from God as we think, right? The system that we live in is far away from God. The falling into this matrix, excuse me, is essentially the falling away from what's natural, organic, helpful, high vibration, loving, living, thriving in life, um, but and then people want to be like Jesus or emulate Jesus. Well, wasn't he broke? Wasn't he poor? Didn't he walk around like, what I'm saying? Like, so everyone who's poor should be completely happy because you're closer to Jesus than the millionaires are, right? But now what is that? Is that why can't a millionaire be close to it too? There's people with all the money in the world and they're not happy, just right. So it's like, what is the lesson, right? The lesson is so that you get over yourself, and then get over this whatever concepts you think in, like that you have to work on, or you're not good enough, or things like this. And no, you are good enough. That's what all this is talking about. That you are exactly how you're supposed to be. What if exactly where you're at right now is exactly what you're supposed to be doing? Oh, this is not godlike, this is not, well, it's all godlike, it's all creator, like this whole thing was created, it's everywhere, it's in everything. So the point of this, what we wanted to say in this video is love is all you need. And to remember, like, all of the other stuff is just not necessary. I hate to break it to all the people who have really logical linear processes and how to figure things out and how to do this and how to do that. But honestly, you could just throw it all out and just go for a walk outside. There's a difference between knowing your gnosis, your understanding, knowing what's happening around you and adapting to life, right? Versus having to control it to be this way or to be that way, and again, people who are in lack mentality or in unfortunate situations, those are the first ones to find to reach for God, to reach for, what do we do? How do we do? Right. So the reason why we're still where we're at is because us as people aren't talking to each other. We stop becoming friends, or, and not like it doesn't happen, you know what I mean? But we stopped. It's not that, God came in or Satan came in and is just ruining everything, or God just wants you to, because if you study the all the God stuff, all the God talks, he's the most vague, most like, well, if it doesn't feel right, well, how do you know that isn't right? Like, then that's your problem. Like, what if I, God, told you to do this and that, but it didn't feel right, so you didn't do it, and then, oh, you didn't listen. So if we're using our discernment, are we supposed to feel good about the things that we're doing, or like, so that like God only shows up in good things, right? But then God will always say, well, I am love and I am unconditional love, and that blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, well, for unconditional love, where's the unconditional love? And then you say, well, it's in all of the things, because even if you're doing, bad, quote unquote, bad things, right? But going back to Adam and Eve, or Eve eating the apple, right? It wasn't, the devil never came and just shoved an apple down your throat. That's not how it happened. It was you, right? It's people using God, using devil, using all this other crap that's outside of themselves and not inside of yourself, to justify, why everything's happening, like, oh, it's the Satan worshipers. And listen, I'm not saying that, that's probably not the direction you want to go, the side you want to be on. Just saying, right? Because that, does become a real thing. But that's it. That's how simple it is. It's not as complicated as figuring out all this stuff. You have to choose and you have to do it. You have to take care of yourself, right? You got to go exercise. You got to eat right. You got to, be nice to people, and when you do these things, it gets easier and easier and easier because it overlaps. It's just like meditation and practicing channeling and being able to hear, and so if you hear dark side come in and you hear light side come in, it's like, I love both of you guys. What are you guys doing? How's it going? What do you guys want to talk about? You want to tell me stuff? All right, cool. Tell me some stuff. All right, now what? Let's go. Like, whatever. Or not, because that's not going to help anybody. like that's just your opinion, and so all of this comes down to you, right? Who's the beings here that are doing this stuff, or that are talking to God, talking to Satan, talking to all this stuff? It's you. It's not them. It's you. Just like the concept that, spirit or galactics, they're not just going to come in, swoop in, and just save all of us, right? Because it's you. It's up to you. You have to do it yourself. You have to realize how you're creating your own stress and you're creating your own drama by choosing to believe that something is so dramatic or something is so impactful, and it's like watching a movie. Two people could watch the same movie and one person could walk away like, that was the most inspiring thing I've ever seen. And another person's like, yeah, I've heard it before. Does it make what happened any different than what happened? No, it's up to you. It's still up to you. Well, God was talking to me. No, you're talking to you. Your guides, your higher selves, your monad, your whatever is talking to you. It's you talking to you all the time. Right. And of course, we get into channeling, there's other beings and, but everybody's got their own agendas. Right. So if you're ever channeling anyone or anything, you got to know why, right? It's the same as looking at yourself. Why do you think the way you do? Why do you believe what you believe? Why do you, anything? Well, why are they? Right? Why is that? Why is this? It's so important to reserve your judgment. Right. So it's like triggers, right? Like triggers are a good thing. It's your reaction to the triggers that determines how the trigger went for you and, whatever else happened or whoever else was involved, right? Triggers are just fine. It's just completely neutral, right? So it's like, like a good, easy example is you see injustice in the world, right? And you go, oh man, that's messed up, boom. And you notice it, you trigger, right? So what are you going to do about it now, right? You're going to send it love, right? That's why we came here, in essence, to give more love to these situations so that people can understand, right? So all the, this and that, why is this, why is that? There's a reason why, and it has to do with a whole bunch of negative beings trying to take over the world and trying to, and basically doing a really bad job of taking of when it comes to helping humans, right? Or helping, and who's to say it was bad, right? Because if we think of all the genetic tampering and all the et cetera that we've been going through, right? Well, sure, it's bad at the time, or, and then maybe it was violating free will, it's not right, this and that. But because of it, we have all the DNA from all of these different beings all over the world, and we're going to stomp every single one of them out because we have all of them within us, right? And so this is why you're so important. You are so important. You're more important than, you realize. This is why they need us to channel, right? If I say to Spirit all the time, you want to come down? You want to come down, Mr. I'm channeling this information. I'm channeling that information. You want to come and do it? You want to come? If you have all the answers, why don't you come down and then just tell everybody, right? That's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be so you can figure out whatever you need to figure out, right? Now, obviously, if you're channeling negativity, dark beings, people with agendas, people with control issues, or anger issues, then it's, you want to be careful, right? Because true love, peace, happiness, truth, all of that stuff, It doesn't, it almost doesn't even have to get excited. It's different, right? You can feel the difference when you're channeling, when you're engaging in anything in life. If it's like this anger, if it's this building up, pent up, I got it, this and that, I got to do that, that's where you want to calm down. Because when you go into love and you go into the light side, right? It's very calm, it's very patient, it's very understanding. It's like any relationship that you've ever known, friends, family, loved ones, anything, authority figures, anything. Right off the bat if they're good or they're bad based on, are they listening to what you're saying? Are they considering you? Do they have empathy? Are they understanding where you're coming from versus just trying to shove what they say is the right thing down your throat? You know what I'm saying? That's so the true path is the one of ease, right? The path of least resistance, right? Bruce Lee, be like water, right? It can crash, it can strike hard, or it can flow smooth, calm waters, right? And we have all of that within us. So while everybody's looking for the answer outside of themselves, over here, over there, what do I do here? What do I do there? What do I say about this? What do I say about that? You already know the answer. And it lies in the peacefulness. It lies in the quiet moments, in the silence, in the meditations, in the right. Everybody, oh, figure this out, figure that out, figure that out. No, the most peaceful thing that you'll ever experience is nothing going on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to put that. Because that's what peace is, right? Everybody wants peace, but everybody's roaring all the time, up in a roar. And, that's not what peace is. So when people say, I just want peace, blah, 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 but do you really want peace in your life? Or are you really secretly saying you want more excitement and entertainment of this type? Right? Because true peace is, nothing. True peace is put it all down, go outside and sit, or go for a walk in nature. Go take a shower, take a bath, cool off, relax. That's what peace is, right? So the wars, the anti-wars, the culture, the counterculture, it's all just BS that they're trying to separate us with, right? So the separation mentality has to go. So once people, and that's what happens a lot with people, with any of us on the path, you have to realize that it's the peace inside you, or it's the fight inside you. Right now, again, like I said, triggers are not a bad thing, right? The whole reason so many beings are here is because we're trying to help, something's going on. So trigger is a human, or trigger as a spiritual ET, galactic, super, even non-physical being, right? There's always a trigger. Like everything happens, and then you do, I talked about cause and effect in the last one. It doesn't mean it's good, it doesn't mean it's bad, right? It means a bunch of beings saw this place and went, oh man, we got to help out down there. So how do we do that? Well, we have to show them peace, and we have to show them love, and we have to speak the truth, and we have to not fight over it. Right? So this war, good versus evil. How about no war? Right? Like, what side are you? If you ask yourself, or you ask somebody, what side is everybody going to want to be on? The good side. Nobody wants to be on the bad side. Nobody's going to say, I used to say this when I was a kid. I don't know, like in school, junior high, high school, something like that. If you ask people, like, do you consider yourself open-minded or closed-minded? Well, every single person you ask is going to say open-minded, except, the few that, really love their narrow-mindedness and they live by it and they own it, right? But most people are just going to say the good thing, so it's like in Taoist, everything I've studied, learned, right? The meditation, the peace, the balance, it's yin and yang, and then the Wu Ji, you want to be the nothingness, right? In order to see and understand it all. People want to channel, people want to know how to do this stuff. You have to put your thoughts to the side. That's the whole point. It doesn't mean that you don't have thoughts, but you don't have to own your thoughts, right? So how would the creator of an entire universe do that? How are you gonna be the creator of an entire thing and not be aware that there could be a bad side to it, or there could be a good side to it. And then we say, well, where's God? What's this? Was that? Well, he's neutral. It, she, it, whatever, she, hit, him, whatever the pronouns are nowadays, right? It's neutral. That's, you want to be like Jesus, you want to be like God, you want to be, or whatever, all these God, all your religions out there, Allah, and, you know, whatever, Buddha, Krishna, you know, like whichever ones, like, well, then you have to be at peace and you have to accept everything for the way it is. And that's one of the hardest things, you know. This is why I always talk about on the show. We got to be talking more and getting offended less. You know, this is why comedy is the way to go. I'm telling you right now, comedy is I should have put all you need is love and comedy. And that's what I'm getting ready to do. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. If some of what I say isn't funny already. New. Yes, sir. New. Yeah. You want to come down? Yeah. You know, but so what does that mean? You came down. You want to come down? Yes. Right. I know I was up there, like, and they were like, hey, does anybody want to go down there? And as much as we knew to say no, as much as you knew you should say no, you say yes. And then that's why you're here and you came. Right. And that's why that urge, that burning inside of people to, you know, change the world or make it a better place, that's where that comes from. It comes from when, you know, you were a kid and you just wanted to live and thrive and express life. And, you know, it's like, watch kids at a playground make friends. They just make friends. It's not like they don't even question it. You know, they're not like, oh, what's this? Why does he want to be my friend? And what's his secret agenda? You know, and this and that. They just know. Like, hey, I see you. I see you. I see me in you. Right? We laugh about the same things. We find the same jokes funny, right? Or whatever. You know, and like barely even that, because the kids, they don't have to talk that much to figure it all out. You know, this is why I love words, but at the same time, you don't need them at all. Which is the then flip side is we should be able to talk about anything and everything and stop getting offended. You know, that's like what I say on the show once, the English teacher, you know, like, say your words like this, say your words like that. She needs to go away. She needs to slow down with her agenda and telling people how they need to act, talk, think, feel, walk. Well, she's English, so talk. You know, this is how you put the comma before you put the but, before the but if it's the beginning of a sentence, you put it after, but you shouldn't use the beginning of a sentence with the word but. You know, like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on down here? Like, is this really how I pass school? Like, is this making me smarter? You know, no, it's making us all dumber. I hate to say it, you know, and not dumber because it's more knowledge. So if you take it and you understand it, like, it's all information is good information. Period. It's just up to you to decide if it's bad or not. If it's good, you know, it's like people, oh, don't tell me that. It's like, why? Because you don't want the truth. You don't want to live in the truth. You don't want to talk about the truth. You don't want to learn and have your own critical mind. But that's what happens. We get that mind, you know, they get that programming in you when you're young, right? You got to stop that. And that's what's all changing. I mean, look at all the people, you know, they're starting to homeschool the kiddos a lot more now with everything going on, you know, like it's once again, it's the flip. So it's going to take some things in order to, but the concept, you know, which is what I always say, we don't need more negative references in order to learn how to be positive. We just need positive, you know, it's like saying you had, you know, bad parents growing up or something, you know, and you got all this trauma or something, and then you got to work it out, and you work it out when you get older, and it's like, good. So I had to have that so I could learn how to not be like that. Like, how, you know, what if we had really great examples and we learned a really good thing and a really good way of doing things, and then we saw something that wasn't so good? Do you think we'd know then too? Like, we just know we can only learn from the negative? No, that's not the case. But there's a thing that's happening here. There's a lot of stuff that's happening here that, you know, a lot of people, you know, even myself, I mean, to be fully consciously aware of all of it, I mean, it's crazy, you know, and the only way you're going to do that is by being quiet, sitting in the now moment, and just listening. It really is, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that say that, it's hard to meditate. They still can't this. Well, listen, learn how to do it and learn how to do it ASAP. Okay. Because that's what you're missing in your life is meditating. Seriously. Everybody's running around the rat race trying to figure it all out. What are you missing? The not rat race is what I'm missing. You know what I mean? We got enough rat racing. So anyways, I always, you guys know how I feel. You've been watching me for a while. You know how I feel about this stuff. Oh, from comedians. Yeah, we get real news from comedians. Exactly. Because comedians have the ability to say that was total BS. What I like is how shout out, rip George Carlin, as how there's all these like reaction videos now of George Carlin. I'm like, where's everybody been at, bro? George Carlin's been here for a long time. And he's been killing it, man. he's been out there. I mean, he's not here no more with us. So he's here, but it's like finally, like, did you guys just start listening to him now? It's like, yeah, a lot of people have, but that's okay. I'm just glad that we finally are. Because when I was growing up, nobody knew who George Carlin was, and I was making George Carlin jokes left and right, and nobody knew why that was funny. It was mostly offensive, because that's what he was, especially during his time. He was offensive because of the way he talked about stuff and the way he challenged everything, and that's how he got famous, or one of the big things is 7 words you can't say on TV, which I don't have to say here now, but go ahead and look it up if you need to know. Right. And why is that? Is that the devil speaking through him? Like it's a word. It's a word. Oh, people got to relax. So let's see. We're gonna tune in, pull some cards, see what Spirit has for us for the week coming up. A lot of things been going down, I guess, for people. I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of people, even in the spiritual community, getting hit hard, and one thing I've noticed is the more that these energies rev up, the easier it's getting. It's like spirits. It's like they say, the more the energies come in, it's going to be harder if you haven't done the work than if you have, and then you're just going to be able to integrate the energies. So the way I see it is, if all of us already are ascended, if you will, and we've already known, and we all have these things in our hearts already, like, my thing is that it can't get here any sooner for me. The more these energies come in, the better and better and better and better I keep feeling. It's very rare that I have to purge anything anymore, but what I'm learning is transitioning and transmuting, so as the energies come in, you integrate them, and then it just shifts. It's just shifting your reality. It's kind of like they said too, it's going to happen whether you're paying attention or participating or not, right? So it's coming either way, and the more you do the work and the more you're good, the easier it just is. But we're here to help fix things. We're here to help reorganize things energetically. So we're going to have to go through things too. And that's the whole point. You guys want to come down here, be my guest, right? But we're here to do that. You're here to do that. That's why you're so powerful. That is why that you came, because you're the one that can do it, that can handle this stuff, right? But people got to get back into their own minds. Not just minds, not the mind, the hive, the matrix mind, your mind, your connection, mind, body, soul, right? None of these things are bad. None of these things are good. But what do you say, right? And that's why all this stuff it's empowering, taking our power back, right? It's because it's you decide, This is why I've been like this my whole life. I've always been deciding. It's just nothing out here likes my decisions. Whatever. Everybody else, teachers, everybody, authority, systems, whatever, they don't like me, right? I'm not here with them. They're here with me. So if you really think about it, who's having the hard time? I mean, sure, it ain't easy, for a lot of us, but the reality is you're already good. We're already good, right? We're waiting for the world to catch up to us. So stop with the you needing to change and fix all the things. The only thing, there's nothing to fix except for you. You just have to fix how you, right? So it's like all these inspirational people and quotes and all this stuff too that's coming out, and all the memes and everything. They're great. Yeah, they're great. Sure. Right. But just know in your heart, and you don't need a meme. You don't need know who you are, know why you're here. Remember what it was like when you were a kid. Remember that spark that's inside you, that fire, that flame, that eternal flame that burns forever, that never goes out. That's who you are. And if this place doesn't get it, well, too bad. Not my problem. Right. I'm going to engage with what helps me be me. Period. That's it. It's like, shout out moms, she's awesome. But, when I was a kid and had my social life, oh, why are you going out with those people, blah, 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 and so then I stopped, I came home and, I was still in school and, so I started playing video games more, because I was at home a lot more, and then I got into Tai Chi, etc. But, so I started playing games, and then it was, why are you playing games all the time? Why are you this and that, So I say shout out, because she was trying to keep me in balance, and so she was doing, the best that she could. But those were the things that I liked to do. I'm trying, I'm following my own path here, right? Just because it doesn't mix with you and everything else around it, and that's what we got to get away from, really encouraging each other to be, because most people aren't going to just blow up the world, right? Like the only reason anybody wanted to like rage against the machine, is because the machine won't leave them alone. That's how it is, right? That they're not leaving us alone. Some people can't free themselves so easily. Some people don't have that break, and that's what happens in the world. And that's what needs to be corrected, right? Is all of the ideas of what you need to do and how you need to be, what you need to say, what you need to think, and how you need to act. This is how you need to live your life. It's like grandma, or whatever, grandpa, grandma says, oh, I've always wanted grandchildren. I'm like, well, then you better go adopt somebody, because it's like, maybe I don't want children or something, or what I mean, like whatever the case, and that's totally fine. Doesn't matter if you do, if you don't, like it's up to you, right? But we got to stop with these ideas of like, oh, I shouldn't because of this outside, or it's like, if you want to do it, then do it, right? But know that it's within you. Nothing should be something, it shouldn't be, oh, I need to have kiddos so I can feel like my life's complete, or I need to have kiddos so that, it's all I've ever wanted. I just want to have a family and blah, 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 and it's like, that's lack mentality, and that's what's driving you forward. You know what I'm saying? So you shouldn't be doing, right, I want to get married because once I get married, everything's going to just work out. So that's in your head, dude. That's like, that is not being adaptable to life and whatever it is and however it is and whatever, is meant to come your way when it's meant to, and how it's supposed to work, right? That's the test, right? Like, I don't like tests, and they can take all their tests and go into another dimension for all I care, right? But this whole place is a test, right? In a sense, right? So just like I'm explaining all these things, we don't have to understand all this stuff, but there's angles for everything. I think I've said this on the show too. There's an angle for everything. There's a justification for everything. Right. But when you do that, you're negating or you're ignoring the other aspects of it. You know what I mean? Like, so if you justify why that was good, well, then you're ignoring maybe how it was bad for someone else. Like it's like spiritual growth, right? Or something, when we tell people that we know, loved ones or something, we know it's good for them because overall it's good, right? We've gotten ourselves to a high vibrational space, a loving space, a very understanding, calm, patient space, but it might not be what's good for them at that time. I mean, it's again, it's all relative, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on. It's why I always joke about, oh, the ancient beings are coming back and Sumerian gods are coming back. Like, I hope somebody comes back, but what if you're that Sumerian ancient being person, right? And then it's that whole concept, like, you are the God because you're the creator of your life, right? And so we say this all the time. There's so many links and it all connects, but it's all just, like I said, a limited, I am the God. Oh yeah. Why? Well, because I control my own life. Right. But then there's also all of life happening around me and all the being. Do you control the tigers in the Sahara Desert or the jungle? Not really, you know what I mean? But it's like, so am I the God? Sure. But what are you God of? Right. And if you wanted to be God, like I said, the point is to not control it. You're not supposed to control everything or whatever. You have to let your children live and be them. You have to maintain that 0 point. So everybody is like, this is why I say it's a rat race on top of a rat race on top of a rat race on top of a rat race, and I love it because I like how they're uncovering ancient knowledge. Or like what was the recent one? They found two miniature Sphinx things in statues in archaeological dig recently, and it's in all this stuff. And I love it. I love it. It's great. Sounds great. I love it. Okay, it's cool. Now what? You know what I mean? Like so, and that's where I see people still going off into the deep end, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it doesn't matter how many Sphinx we find. Like, I made one yesterday out of sand and clay. I got a sandbox. I put it in the backyard. I got it wet, and then I made a Sphinx. Right? Like, well, it's the sacred geometry within the Sphinx that allows. Yeah, hey, okay, cool, great. So now that we have the Sphinx, so essentially what you're saying is the Sphinx has been here this whole entire time. The pyramids, this and that, and now what? What did they do? Where's all the love? Where's all the right? So they're hijacking them so they can take control of the energy of the Sphinx so that it blah, 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 blah. I can't wait to walk into the Sphinx or into the pyramid. I'm going to mess everything up for them. I can't wait. We're not locked in here with them. They're locked in here with us. Okay. That's what you have to remember, right? You can channel the energy right now that you're looking for within yourself. You don't need a Sphinx. You don't need a pyramid, right? Now, it doesn't mean that if we did have it, we wouldn't have much more cities of light in these things, right? Like the crystals and this, like that's going to help us to actually live in the outer material sense, right? Of what the positive vibrations of flow of life, the true flow of life, the organic flow of life is, right? So yeah, sure, they can hijack all the ley lines in the world, but they can't hijack this ley line, right? And the sooner everyone else realizes that about themselves, we don't need nothing. We just need each other. That's it, right? I can channel all the energy that's in a Sphinx, in a pyramid, boom, boom, boom. Sure, there's probably more. It probably, all of it probably blow me up on some levels or something, like whatever, because we got to get our vessels there. And yes, there's, pollution everywhere. And so there's a negative influence that it's projecting out, or, negative vibrations that it's projecting out. But as soon as you decide, as soon as you say no, no means no, no means no. Why? Because I said so. So at the very least, this aura, this brute said no. So you can do whatever you want around here. But now, again, that's why we're here, because we're tired of what they're doing around here. Okay, so because it's not conducive for this. Right? Am I making sense? Right? Hopefully this is all making sense to you guys, because that's what it is. We can talk forever about how it's all true, right? How it all affects everything and how it's all this and it's all that. It's up to you. The whole point of all of it is so that you can figure out so you can figure out your energy and what your energy does and how to work with energies, right? So I started all this, like Tai Chi elements, Taoism, yin yang, nothingness, somethingness, the yin yang of the yin yang of the yin yang of the yin yang. Okay, it just keeps going, right? Oh, I'm banging on things. It just keeps going, and it's up to you to decide: are you going to eat the apple or the peaches? I like the Monkey King reference, anyways. Are you going to eat the peaches? Or are you just going to wait and sit in a nice meditation? And then once everybody shows up, then it's time to party. It's time for the peach party, right? We're all going to make peach pie, peach smoothies, right? The forbidden fruits. What do you mean forbidden? Why is it growing if it's forbidden, right? But then it comes down to the dude said, this is our orchard that we use for every 500 years to party. Don't eat the peaches, right? He ate the peaches. Okay, bad move. Plain and simple. It's not because the god of peaches, has is now gonna take out its revenge. Like, you know what I mean? Don't do it because God said so. No, it's you just disrespected the guys. It's their peaches. Just don't eat them. He asked you not to. He asked you to guard them, and you went nuts and got a giant belly over the peaches. So it's funny. Hey, what's up, guys? Oh, check your comments. Yeah, we seem to be acting dumber. Well, yeah, and that's the stretch. That's going from one to the other, It's going to seem like there's a lot more dumber because now that the truth is coming out, like, see, for me, we've all been dumb since I was a kid, since I was little. I've been watching people just be idiots my whole life. No offense, right? I love you guys. It's not, okay. But now that people are starting to get more aligned with the truth, they're going to start seeing what I've been seeing all this time. And it looks like people are dumb, but and we just use words. I think it's funny, we're not picking on anybody, right? But we all don't know everything, so that's just normal, right? But then that's the point that you get at. So you see that, right? So me, my whole life, right? How do you do that? How do you handle that? I had to learn that early. You just have to let people believe what they want to believe, and you just want to be a peaceful, encouraging light to them. Like not argue, not, oh, you got this, oh yeah, you do blah, blah. No, you just say, hey, I hear what you're saying, right? And I think there's more to it. That's all you got to say. Stuff like that, and so it makes you be quiet more, if you will, to certain people, to certain things. Obviously not me on my show when I need to blab and we need to blab. We're supposed to share. I keep saying, man, we got to be sharing. It's like, dude, the fact that we have to argue about free speech, the fact that, like, America, we got a constitution, we got free speech. The fact that you even needed to write that down as a law, as a guideline, like, come on, man. Like, everybody, all you guys need to be fired. Like, I'm so grateful that we wrote it down. Thank you to the founding fathers who had some knowledge, clearly, okay, and wrote some good stuff down and made them laws. But the concept that you made a law in the first place just goes to say that people can't figure it out for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need the laws, even the laws. Once you understand truth and the love that's inside you, you know what I mean? You don't need any of this stuff, any of it. It's all just to confuse us. And you guys know how I feel about that. But yeah, so it is that people are acting dumber. I think I shared the one on Facebook. I shared a post where there's a dude standing outside. I don't know if it's like a hotel or like an office building or something, but he's standing outside the front door and he's got a lint brush in his hand. And then he's got a mask on, whatever, like he's off, or, he's in like his PJs. Like, it's not even like he's in like white, like gray sweats, but white sweats, like just a white sweater. And he's putting his arms out like this to everybody that walks by. and then he's lint rolling them. So everyone that walks by, they go like this, and then he lint rolls them, and then he's like, okay, go. And then the next one walks up, he goes like this, they go like this, and then he lint rolls them, and then he says, go. And it's just to prove that people will do anything that, because in their mind, they see him at the door. So they think he somehow works there. I don't know why. And he's going like this. He's not even saying a word. He's just going like this, right? Less is more. And they're all like doing it. So yeah, we're going to see a lot more of how dumber everything is. I mean, with this whole pandemic and everything, it's been dumb since it started. Everybody's been dumb since it started. Not everybody, but that's what I'm saying is you're going to see that first. And then after that, you get to the place where you just realize it's not that they're dumb. It's just that we've all literally been programmed, right? So the people, they're seeing it and then they're thinking it's official. So their brain, it's not that they're dumb. It's just that that's how we've been taught. And most people, it's all just about critical thinking. That's all that it is. It's the difference between doing what you're told and then versus doing what you want to do because you want to do it, and doing what you feel is right because it's what you feel is right. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing that this whole freedom thing is about, is doing but what is that person who doesn't do what they're told, right? They're the problem child. They're the rebel, they're the troublemaker, why? Because I didn't want to do that. Like, no, how about you do? Why? So you can't control me and make me do something that you want me to do? Like, no. And then isn't that what freedom's all about? Isn't that what we all love and fight for? And what inspires us is the person who goes to the beat of his own drum. So hello, when do you merge both halves of your brain, into something that is beyond, into you. It's the critical thinking. Yeah, rip George Carlin. George is the man. He was super smart. He was me. He was a fractal of me that came before me. That's all it is, right? And you guys, right? As soon as I seen him and I heard him, I'm dying laughing. Everything he says, I love it. I loved every single bit of it, right? Those are our ancestors. That's who we're here as and for and or doing. That's our soul family, right? And it doesn't mean that people who aren't doing that aren't our soul family either. It just means that they're more lost in translation. They're getting translations wrong. And now what everybody's trying to do, we need to translate the Dead Sea Scrolls so that we can figure out how to be nice, how to be nice to somebody, how to give love, how to find peace in your life. I didn't need any scroll ever in my entire life. I've never read the Bible. I've tried. I tried to read the first page. What is it, Genesis? And I couldn't. Right? I just couldn't even get past the first. I can't read any of them. I can't read Conversations with God. I can't read the book of Enoch. I can't read none of it without just wanting to slap whoever wrote it upside the back of their head. And not obviously not it's so good that they did and that we have this information, that we have this knowledge, because clearly people need it. But at the same time, it's kind of what's confusing everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm going to write my own book. But I don't know how well it's going to be. Right? So I said, I just want to talk smack half the time because that's what it seems like. Right. Because I'm not doing what the book says I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not acting how I'm supposed to be acting. Right. Right. If you're talking about this stuff, then, you're going against God and you're going to get, no, I'm not. I'm really not. You guys, come on now, So this is why I say it's all fun. It should just be hilarious, right? Because it's all true. There's an angle on everything. So it's not right. It's not wrong. It's just, what are you seeing and why? And why do you believe that it's true? And then if somebody says, oh, well, blah, 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 and you say, oh, okay, yeah, now I can see why you see it's true. But maybe you should keep going with that. You know what I mean? Just saying, just throwing it out there. Maybe, or you should probably just stop entirely and just put the book down and, like I said, go for a walk. Nature will tell you everything you need to know. Just listen, right? You will tell yourself. your guides, your ancestors, your whatever, your higher selves, your monad, will tell you, right? You already know, right? But they knock that out of us when we're kids, right? You go to, oh, you got detention, because you weren't paying attention in class, and you kept interrupting. And it's like, yeah, because this class is boring. Sorry, not sorry. It's boring. And this is a waste of my time. I might be 8 years old, but I know this is a waste of my time, right? Like, I known that about school the whole way through, except for the beginning. Beginning was cool, right? I always say that. Spelling, got to learn how to spell. I mean, we need to, math, basic math, got to know basic math, like that stuff was fun because I was actually learning, I was learning something. Oh, 2 plus 2 is 4, 2 times 2. That's still 4. Oh my gosh, amazing. How do we do this, right? And we're just learning stuff, but like everybody's trying to tell you how you're supposed to be. And that's where we're all going wrong, because everybody's got an agenda that they're trying to impose upon you. And that's where this whole thing's going wrong. That's why the rulers, everything, that's how this whole thing's going wrong. So it's like, it's the weirdest thing that, I want to create so much for the community, and I want to talk about so much, and I want to show you guys so much, and I want to, like they keep, courses. I want courses for you guys, and I want this and I want that. But if you guys have been watching me, you guys can tell already what my courses are going to be like. They're not going to, it's not going to just lead you into one direction. I'm like, people want the course so that they can figure it out, and this is how you do it, and that's what it is. And I got it, right? But I'm not here to do that. I'm here to mess you up here. I'm here to make you question everything. George Carlin. Shout out George. Rip, sink. All right, dude. Right? Question everything. Right? My courses aren't to make you just follow what this course is, right? It's to make you think for yourself. It's to make you check yourself. It's to make you check what other people are saying, what the information that's coming in. It's not about do A, B, C, D, but obviously there are those things. Like if you want to channel, what do? Well, shut up and meditate or whatever, or just go in nature. That's a meditation itself. That's why I would say go to nature all the time, because you don't need to even be like, you don't need to sit, cross-legged with the hand and the mudra and this and that. I mean, it helps, sure, if you envision things, right? Because you're doing it. What are you envisioning, right? Like if this finger, that finger, these 2 fingers, mudras, it's like, I can't just go like this and then all of a sudden be like, okay, now I'm going to receive abundance because I sat like this for like 8 hours. Like, no, it's like, why are you sitting like this? Why are you using this, right? And that's just what you learn as you learn the energies, and you realize this meridian is connected to this part of my body, or my heart is pumping out of my pinky, or maybe it's in my middle finger today, right? Now, there's certain meridians, there's individual ones, specific ones that we're connected to, right? But what is the energy? How is it moving through your body? So it's getting to the point where once we all understand the truth, we're all going to be able to recognize the truth, and we're all going to know, oh, this is for that, that's for this is for that. But until you realize that, like, you know what I mean? I'm not here to say, oh, do this one, right? Or then open it and then close it and then this and this, right? And blah, 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 blah. But it's the knowing that there is a difference in communication from this to this, to this, right? To this, right? It's just a form of communication. That's all that we're doing, right? And if we get really subtle about life and communication, we're going to be able to talk to each other like this, right? Like, what is the middle finger, right? That means screw you, right? Says who? No, actually, this is connected to the pericardium, okay, in my body, and maybe I got my middle finger standing up, but instead we got to pervert it. We got to, right? They hijack everything, right? This means this, yeah. In the culture, if you want to believe that. Right? But how am I going to communicate to you like this and not be saying what everybody thinks this means? That's in their head. So until their head, right? Until we have more, not like, so this, this is why I say, like, It's specific and it's real and it's true, but we all got to stop worrying about what it is and what, it's like kids at the playground. Like I said earlier, kids could probably go like this and then they'd probably know way more of what the other kid is saying. Right. And then notice your friend. If you notice in the spiritual community, I don't know, me and my friends, we talk a lot with our fingers, hello. See that one? Index finger, it's going off, right? So it's very simple. It doesn't take, a rocket science and a whole explanation in order to know. Because if we were just dropped here, boom, and we had to communicate, how would we do it? Well, eventually we'd figure it out for ourselves. We wouldn't need to, write all this down and write, which again isn't to say it's not helpful. So we have a reference point, right? But that's, anyways, this is I'm getting too off into my own mind here for all or too many minds here, right? Just go slow, because if we have telepathy, okay, we're not even going to need fingers. So think about that, right? So what's being said, who's saying it, who's this, who's that? It's the energy behind it. Oh, it's the energy, right? Because I could point at you, but why? You still don't know, right? And that's because we use finger to point, right? Well, if I pointed at you with my pinky, this guy over here, see how this is different? I'm pointing at you with my pinky. What does that feel like? It's the pinky. Now I'm going to point at you with this one. Can you feel the difference? Right? So, and I'm not here to say what that is for everybody, right? And at least that's how I do it, because I'm sensitive. I'm clairsentient. I feel, right? Any finger at me and I feel a slight difference in each finger, So how do we explain that to people? Like, that's my course right there. Every finger is different. Pay attention inside to know what you're being pointed at for. That's it. But the rest of it is great. Like I say, like, and this, I mean, I've studied the Taoist, the Tai Chi, the meridians, the fingers. In the spiritual realm, there's a completely different use for all of these fingers. There's a completely different elements with all of these than when you read the Taoist, and then they explain it how each one has its own meridian and goes into its own organ and whatever and stuff like that. So I knew the Taoist, ones for the longest time. And then spirit comes along. And then now in the spiritual community, they're saying like, it's all this other stuff, So the Taoists, they have 5 elements, 5 phases, 5 fingers, right? So it's different, right? But then in spirit, they still only do fire, water, earth. What am I missing? Air. Right? Fire, water, earth, air, and then space, right? Like the thumb is space. Like what is that? What is that? Okay, fine, space. No, it's your thumb. It's your thumb. It's connected to your body. I don't want to get into it, but that's right. But that's the point I'm trying to make. There's so many interpretations for all of this stuff. And then what happens when we have telepathy, right? I don't know. That changes everything again. It's kind of like if I point at you with this finger, does that mean I have an overabundance of my heart chakra? See, pinky is a heart, right? In the Taoist, right? But what is it in the spirit? I don't know. I have to write all this stuff down. See, it's why I like talking, because we can understand it all, but you don't need to know. Like, okay, so I need more fire. So I'm going to use this finger. What does that do? What does that do? You're going to use this finger so you can have more fire. How about you focus on your internal fire? How about you focus on the energy of fire and connect with it and realize you can blast fire out of all 5 of your fingers, right? We're here to get all of it, not just limit it to one thing or the other, right? Like if we do it that way, we're going to be learning real slow, and it's going to take a long time for people to figure anything out. if we have to like narrow every single thing down, that's not the point of all of this. It's to integrate all of the stuff. And again, if you like to do that, go for it. Like, shout out. That's just not how I roll, right? I'm an air sign. I'm sure there's earth signs, whatever, that are like Virgos. Go for it. Like, write it all down if it helps you. Seriously. Like, but there's still an essence behind it all. There's you got to keep going. That's why I say reel it back, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. And because it's all just based off of Taoism, Tai Chi. It's based off the animal kung fu forms. It's based off of nature. It's based off of how they feel. And when they meditate and they clear their bodies and then they think of an element and then this finger starts tingling, they go, oh, that must be connected to earth. Okay, cool. And then they follow the meridian and they say, oh yeah, it actually crosses in the spleen and stomach area more so, right? And they're like, okay, cool, earth, whatever. Now what? Right? Like I always like to say, okay, now that we know all that, now what? Does everybody know how to be nice still? You figured out what all the elements are. Do you know how to be nice? Right? Like, I don't think the point is the element, like, and any of us, down here thinking that we're going to create and manifest, like we're going to start casting fireballs our hand, spells out of our hand. I mean, just slow down. That's not why we're learning this stuff. We're not learning this so that I can cast fireballs on my pinkies. Okay. That's not, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean you can't, which is why everything I say is like either the most confusing thing in the world for people, or you guys completely get it, right? And this is why I have a unique blend to add to the mix of the spiritual community, which is why I'm here. Hopefully it helps more than not, but I'm kind of used to it being more misunderstood than anything. But that's because of all the knowledge and everything that I've researched and I've studied, right? So many, the Taoist ones, the fire, water elements, the, witchcraft, Wiccan, palm reading things, meditations and, all this channelings and this religion or that religion, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's great. We got reference points, right? But now what? So do you know how to be nice? Got to be nice. Let's see. George is a man. Very smart. Yes. Hey, Eric. Yo, long time, bro. Yeah, for sure, dude. Good to see you, bro. Glad to see you still chucking about out there, man. Meditate is a quiet experience that turned my life upside down. Yep. Meditate. Well, right. Meditation, turn your life upside down. Exactly. Because it changes the life that you think it is. That's the trip. That's the whole point, is that we think we are like it, and that's the difference. People who see this life and go, wait a minute, there's a way better to do this, a way better way to do this, versus people who think this is life and then like anything that is against that, is wrong. No, everything against that is right. It's the program, right? So yeah, no, that's good, man. That's what happened. And that's why the chaos and the struggle, or the, where it can be hard, the ascension path, the this and that, right? It's because essentially it's what you've always wanted to do and it's who you've always been, but we've constantly been told it's not, right? We've constantly been told we're wrong, constantly told, and so that's the hardest part, is letting go of your past life, or the life as you think it. That's the hardest part of all of this, right? That's why people crack their brains, or they, and then they never the same anymore, right? Because there was a meme I saw, it was Step Brothers, and the person put after one psychedelic trip on the caption, and then it was 3 pictures of Step Brothers where they're sitting on the couch and they're like, this is effing bullshit. And he's like, on a planet bullshit. He's like, in a galaxy that sucks camel or something, right? When they're like super big and they had beat each other up, so their heads are all wrapped up and they're all just sitting on the couch, like they're all beat up. And they're like, it's so true. Like you realize it at some point, and the realization is that we've always realized it. We came in knowing it as kids, and then it got programmed out of us, and then we gotta remove the programming and get back to it, right? So what are we doing? You're already ascended. That's why I say you're already ascended, right? But you got caught up in the world. I did too. We all did. We all have to. We got to live here. We got to interact with it, right? So it's learning how to interact with it in a way that best aligns with you. Interact with that which you want, only that which you want to interact with, and if anything else comes your way, just know that it's there for you, or it's there for them, and you're the one that has to help them, right? Or whether it's a situation, right? That's why it's as simple. Even if you go in a public place, you can change the vibration of that place, right? Why am I here? I'm not talking to anybody. Like I'm going for a walk by myself in the park, and there's this whole party going on, and I don't know anybody, but I'm kind of walking by, and and why anything, right? Like it's not the material stuff. Oh, I'm here for the A, B, and C. No, you're there for a lot of reasons. Like anywhere you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. Yeah, I keep blabbing. I gotta calm down. Woo! Hey, Magic Ministries, shout out Magic Ministries. Check her out, doing her thing over there. An interesting rabbit hole indeed. Oh my gosh, goodness. I love the rabbit holes. I've always said it my whole life. I love chaos. And then I've had to update that over the years to I don't want all the chaos, but I love it. Right? Like I look at my words in my brain. I mean, this is my favorite place to be, is in the middle of it all, right? But not affected by it. And so that's why you can go anywhere, but you're still inner gnosis, understanding. You're still here. You're here. You're the center point for whatever, right? And don't worry about what everybody else is doing. So I love the chaos as long as it doesn't touch me, right? As long as when I choose, right, or when it chooses me, I have the wherewithal to know I don't want to choose you. So you know what I mean? It's the inner and outer reflections, right? And not everything that happens outside of you is you're not the cause of everything, right? I mean, we all are together collectively, right? If anything, the cause of everything is the systematic programming of people's minds and their psychology, and our bodies through the food the poison food that they eat us, right? So it's and then we all say that on the path at some point. I've said it too. Talked about it. That is not me. I did not create that. I'm sorry. I know it's like some reflection of me, but now that's a higher level. You're taking that up to another density. Yes, it's a reflection of me, the whole me, the complete me, the monad me. Sure, because we're all connected and we are all one, right? So everything's you. Okay, but we got to slow down. Okay, we got what I mean? Like this where it gets confusing. That's why I love, once again, talking all this stuff and using all these words, because there's layers to it. And that's why some people we can hear it, some people we can't. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever because it's not on the density, the dimensional plane that they're on, right? So they can't understand how we are able to jump here, there, higher, lower, left, right, up, down, okay? And then putting it together correctly, right? And the only way you can put it all together is when you absorb it all back into the center. And not like you have to absorb it, like you have to take it on, right? But you have to know it's there and be sensitive, and you have to be able to feel it. Otherwise, you're not going to know what it is. You can't be all knowing, all anything, all, all consciousness, waking consciousness, all this, if you don't accept it, if you don't like for what it is, pain, happy, sad, all of it, which is why the neutral point is like so key, because anytime you leave that, something can happen. Anytime you leave God, however you want to call it, right? That center point, source, whatever. When you leave that, now you're in the dance. Which direction did you go? So if God is the circle, right? Or the Wu Ji or source or whatever you call it, it's a circle. Everything knows everything, has everything connected, everything's fine. Second you leave, get ready. I hope you're ready. I hope you packed for the trip. I hope you prepared, right? And then you want to go back. Everybody wants to find God. The kingdom of heaven lies within, right? That, again, there's some good quotes in there. There's some, not good quotes in there, but that's why it's so complicated too, because, it's the levels of understanding that everyone's, figuring out really. Let's pull some cards. I've been going, holy Mikey. It's over an hour and 15. Oh, sinus season is here. It's getting cold, man. It's cold out there, bro. It's bros and sisses. Holy moly. All our plants are just like, forget it. We had some tomatoes growing. I got some peppers growing, and they're just like, no, forget that. I'm going back inside because it's too cold outside. So we'll see if how it goes. I might have to early harvest or something. I don't even know. We got to get the whole thing set up. Get a heater in there, and then it is. Even in the summer, it's so hot. I think we had 119 or something. It got up to like this year. Or was that last year? Somebody was talking about it. I know I saw 115 when I was driving home the one time, but I mean, it's just, I don't even think we had a fall, right? Hey, Josie, what's happening? Hey, Sarah. Hey, Janine. What's up, girls? What you doing? What happens when you let the chaos hit you when you think that's what you want? But when it hits, it can be straight scary and unfold the unthinkable. Yeah, for sure. Well, that's the thing. It's chaos. So you say chaos. Well, what's chaos mean? What kind of chaos do you want? Right? When I say it, I just mean like I'm an air sign. So I love it up here. I want to fly everywhere. I was dreaming of flying again last night. I'm getting good. I'm getting good at it. I'm getting good. Before, I used to have to pump to stay up, and I would always drop down, but I'd have to pump to get higher. And now I'm getting my feet in it. So it was funny. It's like I was treading water. So this time when I shot up, I was like, oh, it's pulling me down again. I'm like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm like, I'm staying up here and I'm going to do it with ease. And all of a sudden my feet started going like this, like they're flapping, like I was treading water. Like they just started, and it was like, and then I was able to like stay up, it was like way easier. And then at one point I let go and I was just soaring, and I was like, yes. And then I think the dream kind of ended there. So I think I made it somewhere and then it stopped. So I'm, getting better at that, but it's too funny. I'm always flying around in my dreams, crazy dreams too. Like just every single night having dreams, and they're so fun. They're so fun. I keep saying I want to dream about something fun again, and I keep doing it over and over. One of them, I was in a zombie game. I was watching this YouTube, and there's some zombie game, and there's 3-4 people all playing. And they're, it's like a build your world / zombie, apocalypse game. And so the one dream I had, I was in the game and I was playing with them all, but I had no idea how. I've never played the game, so I don't know how to play the game. So I was running around in the game just like, I'll distract them. You guys do get what you need. I was like, I don't know how to build a spear or nothing. I don't know. I'm just gonna run because I can run faster than the zombies. It was so fun. It was so much fun. Like I was having a blast. Like not scared at all. Like I don't know. That's what I say about zombies. Like people worry about zombies. No, listen. There's millions of gamers out there that can't wait for the zombies to show up. Like don't worry. If you're afraid of zombies, don't worry. We got this handled. Okay. There's plenty of people. Ain't no zombies gonna do nothing. Okay. All this try to scare us stuff. We're ready for everything. They have no idea what they've awoken inside of us. I'm having fun. I am having fun. every day I'm having fun, right? And if I'm sitting there trying to have fun and something happens, all right, somebody's emoting right now. Okay, you good? I mean, I don't look like that, but that's I just remove my energy, and I just go and I just wait, because I know that like anything, like it's just so much drama in the world, and people are just choosing their drama, or they're choosing to get triggered or not triggered. Like I said about triggers, right? Triggers are good. They're supposed to catch your attention. It's how you react. So it's just like right now I'm just like, okay, whatever, okay, because I know that they're going to get out of it one day. I know that it's just part of the learning process that we all have to go through, right? So I think that's important that we all, it's like babies, right? Taking care of babies. You just, oh, all right, you gotta, let them go, let them get it out, whatever. It's okay. And then I just go back to laughing. I try to joke, and sometimes not the right time, or it was the wrong thing, and they're still in it, and then it's just like, okay, never mind. They didn't get that one. They didn't get that one. It was funny. But they didn't get it. No. You be nice. It was funny. Okay. Well, that's why they're upset. Okay. Right side, left side. Anyway. Flying all the time too. Yeah. So your dreams include struggling big time. That's okay. No, that's not. No, that sucks. But you know what I mean? Like it sucks to feel that way, right? But know that it's because there's somewhere for you to go. There's something else, right? Right. That's why it's showing you that. Right. I mean, because like I said, I've my whole life been having to flap my wings to fly all the time. Right. And it's just, I just want to go outside and sit and have fun. I always got to flap my wings just to, because then I land and then I'm like, what is, oh, hell no. And then I fly back up. I'm like, I don't even want to do this stuff. Look, more drama. Look, I landed back down on this perch. What is this guy doing? Nope. And then and then it pulls me back down. I was like, no, I'm not going back. You can't take me back. I ain't going back. So then now it's just like, now I'm just cruising. Like I've been explaining. Now I'm just like, flying above everything. It was cool because I flew up in the clouds. It was interesting. It was like I almost didn't want to go too high. For some reason, they told me don't go too high. Like I flew up and then I'm like, oh man, how high can I go? And usually when I fly, I'll look down to see like how far away, how high I'm getting, how far away it gets, So then, so I'm looking down and then I'm like, yes. I'm like, wait, how high can I go? And I'm like, I'm going to go super high. And I flew so high. And then all of a sudden I saw like clouds and I was like, oh, and I looked up and then it was like a whole new world. And it was just the sunshine and it was clouds in it. And then the clouds below me were all dark, and then, but for some reason it was like, don't stay up here. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then it's like, it had a bad feeling, like going up too high almost made me feel wrong. It felt wrong. I got a pit of my stomach while I was flying up there. And I'm like, and then I looked down, I stuck my head through the cloud and I looked down, my PS Earth. And then I lifted my head up and I looked above the cloud so I could see. It was just like just one paper of line, like going straight across. And I was just like, why does it feel scary up here? I'm like, what? I'm like, something ain't right. So then I was like, I'm going to stay right below the cloud and just like, but right underneath it and just stay as high as I can go. So something's going on up there and I got to figure out what that all means. But it was funny. I was like, wait a minute. I usually like flying. I'm an air sign and I like flying. What the hell's going on? Right? Something like I got up there and it was a whole nother plateau. And I was just like, you guys got to figure out what this is because like, yeah, I don't know. I have to figure it out, see what it means. Yeah, dude, B-Rave, just stick with it, man. Like know that it's just showing you, and it's probably meaning that you're done with the struggle. That's why the feeling you have in it is I'm over this. So my suggestion is go fly, right? Right. Stop worrying about whatever's going on in the dream and just go like I'm out. Like, right? Like I said, just okay, go figure it out. Okay, it wasn't funny. Okay. I mean, I'm cracking up over here, but okay, right? Like, do you. Don't worry about what the struggle is, right? Because if it's a struggle that you're having, it's you're trying to break out of your shell. You know what I mean? Your soul's trying to pop out. Like, listen, we don't need these earthly material things no more. This is it's just annoying, all of it, right? And then that's why it feels that way. So it's a good sign. It's a good thing. It means you're just letting things go. Maybe just purge. Maybe you just gotta sit with it and figure out, connect to what that feeling is and why and where it comes from and why you have it and how it's help, and don't specify. Just like, what I mean? That's the whole thing I'm always talking about is everybody keeps trying to get all the details and they're just messing with our heads, like, what to do, go do what you need to do and feel good about it. Right. Do just okay. Like I don't like look at that chaos. Cool, I'm gonna hop down. Yo, this is crazy. Yo, what you guys do? Okay, that's too much. And then I'm out. That's how you gotta do it. Take it from a bird, from an air sign. 2 nights ago, no parachute jumped out of a plane. Oh my gosh, that's intense. Whoa. That's funny. That's the falling. They say the sensation of falling, in the dreams, which, like, I guess I have it because I get, I come back down to earth. Like, I just have pulling, right? Like there's a connection, but it's not like it's a bad connection. It's just that I want to keep flying. You know what I mean? So I think it's just like, it's a reminder for me, like, no, you have work to do, on Earth. Go down. It's okay. But when you need to, take a break, fly up, get a better picture of it all, and then go back down, And so I don't like it when I feel the pulling, the urge, the to me, it's help me, somebody's down there, help me, or help us, help this earth, because that's what we came here to do. So as much as we all want to leave this place, we can't. We're not supposed to. And realistically, we want to be here on another level, realistically, to help or whatever it is, So I'm learning how to fly right, and it's not going to be good once I get my feet, because I got my arms, what I mean? I think I got my arms, maybe not my hands yet. I'm waiting for Iron Man mode, where I just like I'm gonna go to the left, I'm gonna go to the right, I'm gonna go, like this. But that was hilarious because I could literally feel my feet. Like, it was just my feet, just this little part, the ankles, just like going like 240, like super fast, almost like Fred Flintstone trying to drive, driving his car, like it was I was zooming, and it wasn't hard, which is what I really appreciated about it. It was almost like I just turned my feet on, and all of a sudden it became easier, but I didn't know I had to use them. I had to warm up, I had to get comfy riding a bike, but once I had them on, well, like I say, that's when it ended. Once I was like, no, I'm good. And then it stopped. I was like, okay. We'll see tonight how it goes. Or maybe tomorrow. I don't know if maybe I'll be in another zombie game or something tonight. I don't know. No, I don't hit the ground. No, I don't ever hit the ground. Even when I'm on the ground, I'm still floating. So that was part of the dream too. And glad you mentioned, but so I can recall, but yeah, I'm floating. So it's kind of like at one point I could feel people or beings around me going like, oh my God, is he floating? Is he like it was almost like a pride, not arrogant, like you know what I mean? Like I was like, look, I'm floating and nobody else is floating or whatever. Like, so it wasn't that, but it was like but it was a good feeling that like I'm floating and nobody else is floating. So why, like, is this, so I felt good about it, but not in comparison, you know what I mean? Like, so I was happy for it, but I remember thinking like, why? And then I was like, I'm just floating. I'm always above the ground at this point. Like I just have to come down here to like, so, and maybe it just means I need more grounding. I don't know. That's the logical figure it out. Oh, you need more grounding. No, I mean, yeah, sure. We all need grounding. I mean, but like, if I'm learning to fly, then I got to learn to fly. I can't, it's not like you're not connected to the ground or to Mama Gaia just because my feet aren't on the ground, stuff like that. Because have I had dreams like that? I'm trying to think back. Like we're already tethered. We're already connected. Maybe it's because I grounding Tai Chi, Taoist, something like that. Like I already get the grounding. Like I love nature. I love Mama Gaia. I want to sleep outside on the ground in the grass all the time, like all the time. I hate shoes. I walk out to my car. I come home after places and get out of the car I don't drive with shoes on. I hate driving with shoes on. So I'm always barefoot. So like I think I'm pretty grounded, although I am an air sign. So I mean, I can always use more grounding. I think we all can. But then you say, well, I'm so grounded. I mean, look at an earth sign. They're so grounded, like they need some fresh air. So it's really like, who are you, what's happening, and why, and stop comparing it to just the opposite, right? That's what we do as people. We always compare it to the opposite. Oh, well, the reason why my life ain't working out, or the reason why it's not working out is because of whatever you're doing isn't working, so you got to do the opposite of that. No, that's not what it always means, guys. No. Like I've meditated so many times at the core of Mama Gaia, right? Lower Dantian, Taoist, right? Like my belly, right? I even got my stick over there the chi stick where it's the bamboo sticks and you just hit all over your body, lower belly, right? My belly is good, right? But then that is where you process everything, digestion, blah, 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 lower, so I think that's what a lot of it represents too, anything. Yeah, I don't know. I can keep going on all that stuff. But yeah, no. Oh yeah, no. I don't hit the ground though. Like I'm like this. I say even when I'm on the ground, I'm not really on the ground. Like no matter how much it pulls me down, I'm still floating or midair or something. It's weird. Like when I'm in my things, I'm not walking. I'm in my dreams. I'm not like one step over the neck, left, right. That's not how I travel, when I'm in my dreams at all. So I don't, and I think that that's common for most of the things, because if you think of like grounding too, what if you're in a spaceship? What if you're in, what if you're, you know what I mean? Your galactic, whatever, like, how do you ground then? Like it's just, it's just relative, right? Like, because we're on Earth, so ground was Mom Gaia and whatever. But the grounding, when you ground Taoist, it's your body is your Earth. I mean, you can go into your belly, and your spleen and your pancreas and all that. But if because some people say like, well, what if I can't put my feet outside on the ground? What if I can't do this? What if I can't really connect? Well, you can still connect. It does help, right? Like just physically, because the negative ions in your feet, like, you want to do it as often as you can. But you can ground just through breathing and meditation into your body, because our bodies are our earth, right? Their skin, all of this is the surface. This is our earth, right? You have a mountain right here called a knuckle, the bones, the metal, right? The bones of the earth. Okay. And then you got the rivers flowing through it, right? And so on top, you have your, the surface or whatever. I mean, it depends how you look at it. I mean, again, all of this is so amazing once we connect all the things. It sounds so cool, but it's just, you can ground anything, anytime, anytime you want, because what makes you ungrounded? You know, if you think about it that way, what makes you ungrounded is too many thoughts or something, or too many emotions, or too many this or too many that. You know, and so people always say, you know, because they notice I'm an air sign, right? And they say, oh, you should ground more. And I go, like, I'm really, I sit outside all the time. Like I sit outside for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. You know, I mean, not now because it's freaking cold, and I'm turning pale again. Look at my neck. I'm turning pale. So yeah, maybe that's what it. Maybe it's calling me back. Go outside a little more, right? I'm missing it. You know, it's missing me, but I still do. Like I still went outside. I sit on the floor. I sit on the ground. You know, I don't even always sit in a chair. You know, so I probably spend at least 2 hours outside a day now, minimum, because it's freaking cold. Like freaking cold. Like my toes are cold right now. I need to go ground them. You know, warm them up. Even if it's cold outside, you can warm up your toes if you put your feet on the ground. That's so funny. No parachute jumped out of a plane. Get your Iron Man, yo. Start your little feet going. You know. That's too funny. Wasn't falling. Oh, okay. He started soaring. Yeah, cool. Can actually feel the wind and everything coming for landing. It was sort of a mission, right? Yo, Mission Impossible, yo. That's what you were doing. Lucid dreams. Yeah, no, they're all lucid at this point. I know I'm awake in all of them. Like so that's what we're getting to. I mean, I don't know how, you know, it's just going to keep coming online more and more for people. But yeah, Eric, I had a dream I talked about a while ago where the whole earth seemed like it was really small. Like I could just step on trees, you know, like I was a giant. I didn't feel like a giant, but it felt like the earth was not smaller, but it was shrunk, like in a, I don't know, like take a tree and then just smush it down, right? So it looks a little more, more full, because if you smush it, right, it'll, bulge out and like get more round. So it was like almost cartoon. It was really bright, like really bright greens, really. But that was when and then my grandfather was walking ahead of me, and I could see his back, but I noticed, and I went, whoa. I went, Gramps, Papa. I said, you're in a dream with me. I was like, hey, do you know you're dreaming with me? We're dreaming right now. Are you in this dream? Are you here? Are you, and he just kept walking forward, and he, the got like more shadow, not shadow. It was just like faded out, kind of like this shirt or something, or this sweater, right? It was like, it had a little bit of light, going through it, but it was just like faded, and he just like kept walking off. And I was like, okay, he's not in the dream with me. I was like, where's he going? I don't know. He's probably doing something. And then I just looked around, and it was like I was just like walking over the earth, like it was weird. And then I stopped, and I went like, so now what do we do? It's like, where do I go now? Should I go to Mars, or should I go to the Grand Central Sun? Should I go home? Should I go check on family? I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was just like kind of sitting there like, well, I don't know, I could do whatever. And then I went up to like go find out, and then when I woke up. So yeah, they're all my dreams are lucid now. Like even the zombie one, right? Like I was having a blast. Like I knew what I was doing. I was like I think I tried to help him at first, and then I was like, I don't know how to play this game. None of this stuff's working. It's like I have no resources. I can't make a spear. I don't know, like this, why is, okay, are we playing the game? And then I was like, I'm just gonna help by being the distraction, and then I just started like running around. It's so funny. And then the one after that, it was another game that I've been watching where there's a shark. It's called Raft, and I love it. It's so funny. But you start off on this little tiny raft in the middle of the ocean, and there's a shark circling the raft, and you have to get like, all the debris from the ocean, because basically the theme is that the world flushed over like water again. It's the world's covered in water. The ice melted, and so the whole world's just covered. So there's only little islands now that like have a little bit of stuff on it because it's whatever the top of the mountains were, you know. So I was in that one, but it was like real life. It wasn't game. It was like a real life version, and we had to run around and get the supplies. And I remember at one point I was like, I don't have a gun. Where's the gun? I need a gun, you know. And then I like went over to this place where all the guns are, and I was like, oh, there's the guns. You know? And then I was just like, which one do I want? Like, and there's 2-3 other people. I'm trying to remember who. One of us was all there with me too. One of my friends, one of you guys is, I can't remember. There's a couple of us, but that was a fun one too, because it was so exciting to jump into the water and see the shark, you know. You got that rush, like, and then I'm like, I'm gonna get your ass, you know. Like, excuse me. It's like, man, I'm having like so much fun with my dreams now. Like, it's all real and I love it all. Once you stop being afraid of it all, that's when you really get to start playing with things, because then you're not afraid to try anything and do anything and see how it goes. And you know, you have to get past your fear levels before you can engage in anything, because then you're gonna act on it wrong if you're still scared. You know, it's the fear of death, right? So it's like, it's not real, you know. None of it, like, I don't know. It's and once you take that into life, physical life, everything changes. You guys know. You guys, I'm sure you've had moments or whatever. So yeah, man. We'll get to cards. We'll go do them right now. It's been 2 hours. Okay, we coming forward. Come on, Crow Tarot. So I always do the Crow Tarot. That's my totem. Native American, the Raven. And again, that's why I talk about life and death. I'm the Raven, right? I guess it makes sense. Right? And again, right? Who cares? It's what I'm always saying. Nobody cares. I'm a raven. I'm a wolf. I'm a dragon. You know, whatever. Don't care. You know, it's just what you resonate with. And I think we can. And when we have all the DNA of all the beings of all, we can pretty much resonate with, you know, any one of them. But there will be certain ones that make more sense for you. So I am the protector of the death. Oh, King of Pentacles. Hello. Come on, this is for the collective moving forward into the week. What are we doing? Not for me. I always tell them that too. These aren't for me. This is for the collective moving forward. And then they're like, yeah, but you're talking about this stuff, so it sounds like it's you. So it's just like, okay. I got it. King of Pentacles. Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate that, man. You know, I feel like so many of us, you know, we're like, who have real spiritual stuff to talk about, myself included, I guess. You know, it's like we're not going to be the most popular ones yet. Not yet. But we will, or, you know, popular, like I care, but you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just going to be us, family, you know, and then we're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger as we go. That's why we need each other, guys. We need each other. Boom and boom. Knight of Swords and the Lovers. Woo! Okay, I only do 3 on the tarot for the going forward. So we got King of Pentacles. I'm going to read it as I always do, just in case anybody, and for my own, you know. There's the intuitive interpretation, and then there's just, you know, the card magic too. So let's, because there's so many cards. Some people, I put fire to represent this, and then, you know, whatever. Let's see. Money, growth, luxury, apprenticeship, artistic, element, earth. Oh, yeah, we know that. King of Pentacles. It would be hard for life to get any better for this King Crow. His savvy skills earned him an abundance of riches, and he lives a most luxurious lifestyle. His heart is pure gold, and with wings outstretched, he shares all that he has accumulated, from material possessions to his acquired knowledge. See, it's not me, okay? It's not me. This isn't about me. Jeez. See what I mean? He is always ready to help those around him reach their potential. This King of Pentacles brings a message to life, to live a life of determination, grace, and a good heart. In doing so, you too will find yourself living an abundant life. Oh, see, guys, see, it's not just me. I'm just here to share what you guys are doing too. What you guys can do. Knight of Swords, right? Because there's no one way to do it, but there is definitely one thing that will, silence, meditation, love. All you need is love. That's why it's called All You Need Is Love this time. Okay, I see what you did there. I see how you bring. That's why I love doing cards, because they always bring it home. They always bring it on home. And then we got Swords, air sign. Oh yeah, reversed, Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords cannot channel his energy to focus on a single project, and as a result attempts to go in too many different directions. If you are feeling scattered, look for ways to direct all that energy into a single purpose. Or you could just stay scattered. I mean, it's not like it's a problem, is it? Whatever. The reverse Knight of Swords may also point to a person who brings a lot of energy, but not the ideas to complete a project. I think that's important, because this is exactly what everybody's going through in the collective. Everybody's like, oh, this is the truth about this, and this is the truth about that, and we have to find the truth, and we have to say what's really happening, and everybody's clueless, and they don't know what they're doing, and they're, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting here, like I've always said, okay, now what, right? How are we going to, right? And this is why I keep saying it's us. It's you guys, right? It's you and me. We have to make this happen. The world, the point of life isn't to just justify everything that happens and logically here's why. And so that's what it is. And that's why it is. And that's the only way it's going to be. You know what I mean? This is the only way. This is it. Blah, blah, blah. Right. And that's what everybody's doing. This guy lied, that politician, this politician, right? The jabby jabs are bliss, or that, blah, 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 blah. It's going to take people a long time to get here if they're just still doing this. Trust me, I know, okay? That's why I got into Tai Chi and Taoism, meditation and channeling and energy. It's it's like I'm just here to be an example, guys, you know what I mean? But usually when you the beat of your own drum, people don't like what you got to say, and then so I'm only here to to help. So I really like that. That actually makes a lot of sense for the collective. I know exactly how we feel, guys. I keep saying it. Right? But listen, I ain't here. I ain't trying to force nothing on nobody. What's the solution? Very simple. It's very simple. We already know the solution. Right? But I like it. I like that's it's a good, like I say, like I like, or what I'm saying is I like the chaos, if you will, the being all over. They bring the energy, but what was this? See, listen to that shit. All right, let's break that one down. A person who brings a lot of energy, but not the ideas to complete a project. Okay, so what project are we supposed to be completing? I thought we were trying to help out the world, and everybody's trying to figure this all out by being scatterbrained all over the place. And even when we are focused on the outcome, or we know it's BS and we know the truth, you still have to go and explain it to everybody then. So it's like, and that's like I was saying earlier before, where I'm just like, okay. Like I already am at the completion of the project. Of course, there is no completion. There is no end. Enlightenment does not stop. We don't stop growing. We don't stop going. So, but yeah, I like that one. Does that make sense? I think it made sense. I identify with the fact that I had just made sense. So, right, nowadays it don't matter. You could be whatever. I identified with tarot. I am a tarot expert because I identify as one. Hey, G. Yeah, share some real life experiences I encountered that someone else might look at me crazy. That's what it is. Yep. Well, and that's how you find the real people. You know what I mean? Like, right? I think we all have that happen at some point, or because now we got social media, so we're all finding each other left and right, and the reality is we're all over the place. There's millions, probably a billion of us here who get it, or get it, whatever, what I mean. But you got to filter out people, and if they don't get it, bye-bye, right? Like they say, like relationship, right? Like if they don't get it, and they left you, then good, because that's good for you, because you know what I'm saying. They weren't for you and you weren't for them anyway. Right. Thank you for filling that in for me. I'm trying to burp over here and you're still talking. Yeah, the crazier the story, the more your veils are lifting. Exactly, dude. You got it, yo. Do you concur? I concur. Love you. Hello, friends. Love you all. And then the last one, we got lovers. Hello. So what I've been saying, what I've been saying this whole time, I've been saying, we gotta start being friends again, right? Okay, she's Louise. So it's King of Pentacles. Everybody's got their abundance, right? But they're stop like I'm not. Why? Because you don't accept who you are. You don't like what you're doing, right? I mean, it's like, sure, like if you got a job like 9 to 5 and you don't like the job, that doesn't mean you shouldn't like yourself, because you should know that you're doing it so you can live your life. Like, why would you hate yourself? Anyways, we got all our abundance. And so this is telling us we have it all. We all know how to have a good time, right? In our own ways, if you will. This thing is not focusing right. Anyways. And I think this came up last week where I was talking about our abundance, where like we have it. Four of Pentacles was last week, right? We keep holding on to our abundance, trying to play it safe, trying to this, trying to that, right? But then we try to share, right? A lot of energy driving forward. Knight of Swords, upside down, right? All over the place. Everybody's got their own piece of abundance, right? And right. Is this right, left for you guys? Left, right for you guys? Okay. Everybody's got their own piece of abundance. We all have it. We were born with it. You came here with it, right? And then everybody's trying to explain it all to everybody else, right? And then lovers. Let's go read. We all know the lovers. All you need is love. Love. Love is all. Gotta go way to the front. We know lovers card. Let's just read it. And of course, it's number 6. That's my number. That's my B-day. It's on the 6th. Okay. Love, business, partnership, choices, relationship, element, air. Yes, sir. On the surface, this card represents love and unity. However, it goes deeper, as it also describes karmic, passion, and soul relationships that span lifetimes. The crows have traveled together through space and time, drinking from the same heart binds them as their veins fill with the same life force, joining their spirit for eternity. Together, each decision is made as the outcome will forever affect them both. From the person you love to the place you settle down, this card asks that you examine your belief system and use your inner compass when deciding to join forces. The Lovers brings a message that some benefits and consequences will eventually reveal themselves for better or for worse. Right. Cool. So I think that's pretty much where the collective is at. Realizing that their choices and what people are believing and it's talking about online, let's say online in the world, is going to affect everyone. So it's like the world is, we're coming back to lovers again, the whole world. We're realizing, hopefully, the humanity of it all. The humanity of it all. The humanity. Right? So hopefully everybody will relax with their abundance. They'll turn this card upright So they stop having to prove themselves and all the things that they're talking about and everything that they're saying, and this is right and that's right and this is right and that's right. Right. And then they're just going to be like, so now what? Yes, this is totally, I can translate this. So now what? Are you loving? Are you loving? Huh? 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 Sorry, that got loud. I don't know if that got loud. I heard the echo. It's going through the vents. Right? So we're going to come back to the lovers. Yeah, to love, to humanity, to frickin' and fracking, right? Everyone's included. How can we be lovers if we can't be friends? Nice. Right, exactly. Well, that's right. Friendship. Is there, I don't think they have a friendship card, do they? They might. Right? I don't know. There probably is. Love is all you need. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's totally where the collective's at. We know it. I know it. But sometimes you just gotta go, okay, whatever you say. I was just trying to make it funny. You know. Okay. Cool. All right, let's do oracles real quick. And I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go eat some food. Get hungry. All this channeling and energy flowing through. I wanted to bust out Messenger. My Messenger Oracle. It's been a long time. This is the first book I ever got. I think so. I might have got two at the same time. This was like the first one ever. Love is all you need. What you got? And I love this guy too. It's all aminals. That's the owl, the wolf, and the witch, the crone. She's not even really a crone. She's just like a earth witch. She's smiling. I don't know if you can see it. Like, it looks like she's creepy. Oh my gosh. I'm blocking literally the whole camera right now, and it still doesn't know what to look at. She's like, oh, there it is. Haha. See, there she goes. She's got like a smile. Like it looked crony like when it's blurry, but she's actually pretty legit. She's not like a crone wouldn't be legit. Okay, we know. I love you too. Just saying. It's illusions, okay? Listen to her heart. Maybe she is bad, okay? Is that what you wanted me to say? Maybe she looks good, but she's not. When does that ever happen? So I mean, we can justify anything. You can make a reason. You can. Right? That's why you just stick with it is what it is. And that's it. It is what it is. That's it. That's it. It is what it is. Hello. Observe in silence. Hello. Cello. Observe in silence. Hello. Cello. Cello. Is this thing on? It's 2 hours I've been saying this. Right? So that's the whole, the conundrum, or the oxymoron, or the whatever of what I'm saying this whole time. The yin and the yang, right? When all is nothing and nothing is all. Thank you, Fox. Thank you, Fox. I really appreciate that. That was a good card. See, they nail it, man. I'm telling you, Spirit, man. Spirit knows what's up. Message. And on the bottom, stay strong. Dragons. Haha. These are cool cards. These are all. Ooh, who is that? Another dragon. Another dragon. We got dragons. They're getting ready. All this magical energy. Dragons. Dragons are the ones that's why they're so mystical and famous and everything, and Chinese, it's because they're the ones, they're the true keepers in the bridge. They're the only ones that are strong enough to challenge all. or not only one. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but like in the lore, right? The magical, mystical dragon. It's not just about burning down villages, but if need be, we can do that. Just letting you know that maybe you don't want to mess with us. So let's see. Oh no, wait. I always save those for last. We're gonna do cards from Soul Fam out there. Thank you for the cards that have been passed down twice to me now. This is gonna look, another owl. What do you know? Ooh, I see what you did there. Slowing down. You want to take it in another direction. I'm not looking at the card. What is it? Oh my gosh, this one again. Traveling lightly. Simplify your life. Hello. Right? Make it easy. I've gotten this one from this card too. That's so funny. How like I probably only pulled this one maybe 5-6 times, and like twice I've gotten, the same card, which is pretty wild. Travel lightly, simplify your life. That's pretty obvious. We kind of know what that means. Let's see what it says though. Releasing what doesn't support, busy life. Yep, the chaos. See? Make it simple. Clear internal and external clutter. Do what matters and release the rest to find peace, grace, and stillness. Simplify your life. Otherwise, it's difficult to hear the voice of Creator. Create time to rest and rejuvenate. Right. Oh, and that's what I was trying to say before. Like just going for a walk in nature is meditation. You can hear everything you need to hear. You don't need to. What was I saying? Oh yeah, like you don't need to you don't need to sit cross-legged, blah blah blah, Indian style. Like just you can just go out in nature and connect back to it. Yeah, the Sacred Traveler wants you to know, on the journey we often gather things that don't support us. It's time to say goodbye to fellow travelers, situations, and objects that don't bring out the best in you. Keep what works and let go of the rest. Doing what is essential and releasing everything else is one of the fastest ways to align with the tranquil vibration of the spiritual realm. Clear things from your schedule that do not advance your life forward. Even a small amount of this cleansing can make an immense difference. Woohoo, shout out. That's right. Boom. All right. Oh, what was on the bottom? Let's check it out. Ah, of course. Of course. The cover card. Why not? Surrendering to the journey. Release control. Boom. There you go. We know what that means. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's how you do it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. I mean, it's like in the spiritual, people, they don't need to hear me say it. They need to hear God or somebody say it. So hopefully when they see the card, they'll believe it more, right? Which happens because we learn to have bias towards each other in humans, So sometimes the cards are exactly what somebody needs to hear from. Right? There's no judgment. We're all here working together. At least I hope I am. Right? I like to be here, for a reason, and have my ancestors and connections and all this stuff. I think we do, guys. All right, last ones. We gotta do the Galactic Heritage. It's a really good deck, and I wish more of us had this deck. There's only a few people out there that I see with this deck. Two or three. Battery's running low. Oh, hold on. Plug in your PC. Yeah, I had it off and unplugged. All right, there we go. We're good. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we're going to get Galactic Heritage. moving forward, who's helping us this week? What's going to help us this week? Who's got the knowledge to help us through this next week until we pull more cards for the following week after that? Happy Halloween to everybody. We're doing more than one. Clearly, I'm still shuffling. Okay, thank you guys. Jeez, I'm just trying to catch up here. Okay, listen, we're slow down here. All right, well, give us a break. Jeez Louise. All right, let's see. Guilt. Ooh. Yep. And yep. Oh man. Are we really starting that now? Didn't people just go through it or something with the eclipse and the new moon? It's definitely a new moon. So we got more stuff to do now. And you know what I said? Is it just 2? And they're like, well, here's 2 more. So we're on 3. I'm not pulling anymore. Is that okay? All right. It's enough. As long as I explain this in a good way. Like, as long as you cover everything, it'll be fine. Oh, okay. I think that's what I'm doing. I think I'm covering everything. I mean, geez, I need to like stop and focus, right? Wasn't that the one card I gotta, right? That's gonna be boring, man. I don't want to be just spending too much time on one thing. The only thing you need to focus on is like, you know, like it's like martial arts or Tai Chi or Tao. Like, you know what I mean? Just focus on your meditation. You know, the focus. You know, focus. That's when you focus, right? And then the rest comes, like what you do, how you do it, when you're supposed to do it, how we're supposed to, you know, like people, you know, we're all always wondering what's the best thing to do here, what's the best thing to do there, you know. But if you focus on one thing, well, then you're gonna block out everything else, you know. So it's kind of like, you know, being an open channel, you have to allow, you know, a lot of that stuff in there. And when something catches you, you know, or something sticks out, then you go in that direction, right? That's, you know, like this whole concept, like, you know, like air signs need to be earth signs and fire signs need to be more water signs, you know. And it's just like, well, yeah, I mean, I'm an air sign. I still will get fired up sometimes, you know, and then, but I got water. I'm a Pisces moon, so I got tons of water. I think I have more water in my chart than even air, but I'm double Libra because I got 3 Scorpios. I don't know, something. Break it all down. Okay, first one. Guilt, Pleiades, past, boom, 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 41. Right? So this is the past, right? So we got to get past the past and the guilt. It's a big one, right? Especially with the collective, right? A lot of people did and made a lot of decisions in the past 2-3 years that maybe they're going to feel bad about. So we got to help that. Don't feel bad yourself. We got to help other people. We got to see where other people are at and try and understand what they're going through for real. Because they're not going to, most people, they're not going to tell you, right? Like, I guess, and I say most people, whatever. Not everybody's going to tell you, you know, like, oh, I'm really feeling guilty. Or, you know, you're going to see that they do because they're going to lash out or something, or you're going to have to notice. But it's the past, right? And guilt is a big one too. The victimizer, or victimization, you know, concept that we're all the victim and I'm not doing it right. And I need to do this. I need to do that. I should have done this. I should have done that. Like, we got to let go of all the guilt. Because once you realize that you did everything that you were supposed to do as best as you could, right? Like, spirit's got your back. It's not over. It's not the end of the world, you know, and that's hard, you know, because some people have done some pretty messed up things, you know. I can think of one thing that I have to, you know, like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean, you know, but it was like, you know, how do you forgive that, right? This is a big one for people. You have to. It doesn't matter because you can't move forward. And whatever happened, and you have to move forward. And spirit knows. They know how you feel about it, right? Right? The Lord forgives you. He always does. But you have to forgive yourself. And you have to do what's right in the future, you know? And that's when you've grown from it. You know, don't think you're by yourself. Don't think you're the first person who ever did something bad in all of history. You know, there's people right now that are waging war or genocide. And I mean, you know what I mean? There's people all like, you kidding me? And they don't feel no guilt whatsoever, right? Did Hitler feel guilt? No, he thought he was doing the right thing. When even with the gas chambers, right? He thought that was the most humane way of dealing with them. He literally did. So what are we focusing on here again, man? It's up to you. It's you. It's your right. And if you have the wherewithal to know, you know what I mean, that like, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Like, we got to move forward with this because just like the crow cards were saying, is we're coming back to lovers, right? We're coming back to friendship again in our family and the things that happen and the things, like whatever the case is, whatever you said to somebody, in the past, and, you guys got in a fight, right? Like, let it go. You know what I mean? This is the past, right? We gotta forgive that shit. You have to move forward so you can move into the future of way showing. Damn, you guys are good. I didn't even look at these cards. I didn't even look at them in order or anything. I just did one at a time. So we are going to the way showing into the future. And that's how you do it, right? Like I've always said, when does the negative lesson stop, right? How about we get some positive lessons and then we learn by that opposition and not just, if it's negative, it's so you can see the positive. If I can see the positive, then I can see what's negative and I'll stay in the positive, So there's a reason why everything happens, Swallow that one or digest that, or what am I saying? And then Andromeda parallel. Of course, it's Andromeda. What are you guys doing to me over here? This is like the greatest reading I've ever given. No, I don't know. I mean, Andromeda parallel, fluidity. I'm done. I got nothing to say. I mean, that's why I love doing this stuff, working with spirit, right? And I love that they love working with me, It might not sound like it makes sense to the humans most of the time, but it does. Thanks, guys. I know. That's what they're saying. You guys are hilarious. Well, yeah, I know you know. Okay, so do I. I know. We're all I told you I wanted to title this "All You Need Is Love and Hilarity in Life," and you're good. Should we update it? Who knows? I don't really ever do captions. I should probably put links to things because I got a lot to offer. Yeah, I know. We're getting there. Don't worry. I'm gonna start building this stuff back up. Andromeda. Isn't that the next galaxy? Isn't that the one we're gonna crash into? The Andromedans are here to help. Shout out Alex Collier. Check him out. Alex is a beast. He's been doing it forever. He's Andromedan contactee. Andromedans are pretty cool. Can't wait to hang out with them. They're gonna. Well, I know, but you know what I'm saying. Whatever. Anyways. Hey, thanks, Eric. Cool. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I love getting out here doing this stuff, man. It's good to know that you guys are feeling it. Oh, thank you, shy, skinny guy. I appreciate you, sir. Sure. Well, sorry, again, pronouns. It's just hard to figure out. That's all I'm saying. There's no offense. I just, I don't want to say the wrong thing. But actually, I love saying all of the things. So just know that it's not personal. Sorry, I'm just playing with you. Like you showed up. I gotta tease with you. We gotta play. We gotta. You know what I mean? We gotta make this fun again because it's funny. It's funny. It is funny. Like especially for those of us who have no clue. Like it's hilarious. We can't figure none of this out. Like it's hilarious. Right? And that's where I want to stay. So with that, I'm gonna leave you with the hilarity. Thank you for all showing up and being the example of who you are and what you are. And thank you for being here with me in this life. Now I'm gonna get emotional. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man, don't start. I gotta go eat, recharge. Love you guys. Cool. That's it for Sunday's spiritual session. And I need water. Okay. That's it. That's all. Sorry. I don't do like fancy hype special, entertainment. I don't know. I think I could, but I need an editor for all that because I don't like. I'm just here. Either hey or not hey. So okay, I'm just blabbing now. Is that all the comments? Yeah, much love, y'all. And I'm out. Till next week. Stay blessed, y'all. Stay love and have some fun. It's pretty hilarious when you think about it.